Mercedes has realized that they had a few too many cars that basically did the same thing. If you wanted a coupe, you had the CLA, the C-Class Coupe, the E-Class Coupe, the CLS. That's before talking about the SUVs that also have a coupe version of the regular SUV format, like the GLC Coupe. But now they basically replaced all those two-door coupes with just this, the CLE, which is essentially an E-Class that kind of looks like a C-Class that is the same length as the old E-Class, a little bit longer than the current C-Class and a little bit shorter than the current E-Class. This is getting a little bit confusing, but you get the point. Nevertheless, with the whole alphabet soup out of the way now, this is what we have, the CLE. The CLE is, well, a combination of everything. Every goddamn letter of the alphabet, and it looks pretty damn good as well. And for a low starting price of just $56,000, it has a whole lot going for it. So let's dive right in. Just starting off the video right now, we are on quite a bumpy road. In other cars, we would probably be shaking up and down a lot, but this thing is very comfortable. Like, it just floats right through these. It kind of feels like you're riding on a cloud, like you're just hovering through the air. Under the hood though, we do get a 2.0 liter turbocharged inline 4 with a 48 volt mild hybrid, and all that comes with a standard 4MATIC all-wheel drive, which has plenty of grip. This makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, which is actually really impressive for such a small motor. The electric motor from the mild hybrid makes 23 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque, which you're supposed to feel sometimes. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Just give it a little send right now. Quite a bit of power. It feels like it has more than 255 horsepower. It feels around like 300, 310-ish horsepower, which is pretty good. It is all paired with a 9-speed hydrodynamic torque converter. It's the first time this technology has ever been used in a car, and it's a very smooth transmission, but I will say that there is a little bit of a downshift lag. We are in sport mode right now. Just listen to when I send it and when that power actually kicks in. Yeah, there is a little bit of lag there, but I don't really mind it too much unless you're really hammering this car out all the time. It works fine. Sometimes though, when you're passing, it does take a little bit of time to downshift, so you end up full on sending it sometimes just to pass people. Not because the car doesn't have enough power, but because the transmission takes a little bit of time to downshift. It is the same transmission in the CLE 53, which is the more powerful version of this car. It does look a little bit better too, and it comes with a 3.0 liter inline 6 turbocharged, also mild hybrid engine, and that makes 443 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. And I'm hoping that car downshifts a little bit faster than this car. Just coming to a stop here right now in comfort mode. The engine will shut off before you even stop fully. You can't really feel it. The engine's off now. You don't notice it at all. I like the traffic light view that pops up in case you have low traffic lights that you can't see without bending your neck down. So I like the fact that that does pop up here for you. Even when you're paying attention, you don't hear that car or feel the car start up. Thanks to that mild hybrid technology, it makes it very smooth. Just sending it on this corner again. Feels pretty good. We do have our dynamic mode selector here. You got Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Individual mode. You can customize things in Individual mode. Let's put it in Sport mode and do a launch control. There isn't actually launch control, so it's just a brake boost. Okay, there's actually a lot of torque off the bat. It's definitely pushing way more torque than just with the motor. I think that mild hybrid tech really helps a lot just getting you off the line. This thing gets you to 60 miles per hour in about 6.2 seconds, which is not too bad for a car of this class. The CLE 53 will get you to 60 in 4.3 seconds, which is a lot faster. Again, this car is quite heavy. It weighs just over 4,000 pounds, but it does a pretty good job of masking its weight. Got quite a big corner here, and it feels really good. It doesn't feel like it weighs 4,000 pounds. It feels maybe like 3,400 pounds, 3,500 pounds, just because of how good the chassis has been tuned. The turning ratio is ridiculously good. Just do a quick U-turn on this one lane, two-way road. You don't even need to do a three-point turn. You can just do the whole turn in one go. It feels like it has rear-wheel steering almost, but it doesn't. Not on the CLE 300. The steering does stiffen up in sport mode. It's still rather light. Let's just put it into this corner again. Brakes feel good. It's not as sporty as something like the BMW 4 Series. I think that car is a little bit more dialed in when it comes to straight up handling, but this is much comfier. Over all these bumps, just daily cruising, I'd rather be in this car. It's just a better, more comfortable, more refined drive. The point of this car is to be comfy, not to set track times. Also, another reason why that mild hybrid tech is really good is that you get pretty good fuel economy. You get 26 miles per gallon combined, and you get 23 in the city and 32 on the highway. But during our testing on the highway, driving about 50 kilometers at an average pace of 75 miles per hour, we were able to get 37 miles per gallon, which is actually very impressive for this car. You do have your adaptive cruise control with this package, and it works perfectly fine. But what's interesting is the fact that there's no lane keep assist or even lane departure warning. I can just hop over the sign right now. The car doesn't even care. There is a camera system. You do get your 360 camera. You do have traffic sign recognition. You also have self-parking and all that. But for some reason, you don't have lane keep. I thought it might be a feature that you could buy through the app store in this car, but apparently not. You just don't have lane keep or lane departure warning. I'm guessing it's missing some sort of hardware. There is a package with lane keep assist, but then again, you're paying $2,300, $2,400 for that, when something like a Honda or Toyota comes with lane departure and lane keep assist as standard now. So I get that they're upselling, but at least have the lane departure warning for a Mercedes in 2024.
Excuse me, could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said.
You do also get your safety exit assist, which would warn you if there's a car approaching and you're parked roadside. You do have your blind spot monitors, and you do have this collision avoidance system, which also kind of slows the car down automatically when it sees a pedestrian or a car rapidly decelerating in front of you, and it'll slightly apply braking pressure just to like keep your distance. It's kind of hard to notice. You have to be really paying attention. It's a great system. I think it works marvelously in this car. It's not as intrusive as a system in Lexus or Toyota. That is perfect. The exhaust on this car is actually quite loud. Let's just shut up for a sec, give it a send. It sounds pretty good actually for a 4-cylinder, and that turbo noise is actually always there, and it sounds great. Yeah, you can hear that turbo spooling all the time. It sounds great. I think there's a good balance of just a little bit of performance here and pretty decent handling, but mostly just comfort. This thing is so silent, so smooth. This is such a great car to daily commute in, especially if you live in a city that's full of traffic. You don't hear any of that. Full of bumps like Toronto, you don't feel any of that. And just a car that you can take on a road trip because there is so much space. We'll get more into the interior in just a sec after we do the exterior. This car has a very bold and athletic stance. The front is aerodynamic, and they call this thing the shark nose front end. It's complemented by these really cool digital headlights. They basically work like Audi Matrix or BMW laser lights, where they block off the cars and they move around a lot using the camera system. But yeah, these lights are really cool, especially at nighttime. You also get this 3-dimensional grille. I think it's pretty good. The front end is not as scary or aggressive looking as the BMW 4 Series. It's more rounded out, it's smoother. I guess you can call it elegant, classy. From the side, you can really see how long this car is. It's actually about half a foot longer than my BMW M340. It looks great. It almost kind of looks like a Rolls Royce from the side angle. The rear is also very smooth, very pebble looking. It looks a lot nicer than the last gen C-Class and the E-Class Coupe for sure. There are fake vents in the front, and these exhaust tips in the back are really fake, like super fake, but I think they're just holding back on these cool things for the CLE 53 AMG, which I don't blame them. There is chrome on this car. You can get the night package in Canada, which does a whole chrome delete. It gives you gloss black trimming. I think that looks way more sporty, especially for me. I would definitely spec it out with the black trimming rather than the chrome. But this does look really elegant. It does look really classy. It's a very fancy looking car with a very sporty presence. Stepping on in, first off, you're going to notice these really heavy doors, but once you close them, I do like these seatbelt feeders that bring the seatbelts out. You're going to notice a very high quality interior in here. You have this aluminum weave pattern throughout with this AMG package. These white seats are also really nice. They are heated and ventilated. You can get optional massage seats, but this one is not equipped with it. But you do get the Seat Kinetic feature, which will stretch out your back and legs as you drive, which is helpful on a road trip so you don't cramp up. You're also going to notice this 12.3-inch digital cluster. It is very nice, very easy to read. Isn't washed out at all, especially even under harsh sunlighting. There are a few things that you can customize. You have your navigation, your sport display, which looks very scary, kind of. And you also have your heads-up display, which you can also put your sport gauges and your speed limit sign up there. And when you're in classic mode, there are a couple of things that you can go through, but there is no music seek button on the steering wheel, so you will have to shuffle up to the media control here and then move it to play the next song or go back. The volume is a slider on a wheel and also a slider here. This is an 11.9-inch display, which you find in many other Mercedes nowadays. It runs on MBUX and it's a very good system. It's very fast, very quick and easy to use. You do also get a couple apps in here. You do have your Sudoku and your Shuffle, Puck, and Pairs. You also have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it works great. It's also repositioned the menu to be at the bottom, and I've noticed throughout the week driving this car that this whole touchscreen is positioned where your elbow can rest here, and you can touch basically all the controls you need without lifting off your elbow. So when you're going over a bumpy road, your hand's not shaking and you're missing the button. So it's very well designed, and they moved a lot of the more important buttons down here. And if you get the Cabriolet version, the screen will also tilt automatically to avoid sun glare, which is also really cool. You get your 360 camera button here, your vehicle button, your dynamic mode selector, your hazards, your fingerprint sensor, in case you want to store your personal data in the car, I guess. You have your volume slider, and you can use it as a button as well, which really only the passenger is going to use because you're probably going to use this. The steering wheel is very nice in this car. I actually really like how it's designed. I like the flat bottomness. I like the perforation kind of on the side. You do get these really cool vents, and they work with the ambient lighting. You do have 64 different colors and like a multi-theme mode that you can go through. It's really nice. It's probably one of the best ambient lighting. It is the actual best ambient lighting in the segment. I love these floating door handles, and you do get your Burmester audio system. It sounds pretty good. I think you can get the upgraded version, which has like 760 watts of power. You also get this huge panoramic sunroof, which you can use a slider, which is like a touch haptic thing, and open it and close it. You also have this augmented navigation system, which works awesome. It also works in your heads-up display, and it shows right here in case you don't see it here and there and there. And overall, this interior feels very nice, very quiet, and just super comfy. The seats are very well bolstered as well. The rear seat is actually quite large. You can drive 4 people in this car quite comfortably. It is a very long car, so the back seat is also great. This is your Mercedes key fob. It's pretty traditional, nothing really much to complain about. Your trunk release button, lock button, unlock button, and your panic. This is the fastest trunk release system that I've ever used. The trunk also pops open really quickly. There's 14.8 cubic feet of space back here, more than a C-Class actually, so you can fit like 2 large luggages and a carry-on and probably 2 backpacks in here very easily. You also have space underneath here, no spare tire. You get a tire mobility kit, first aid kit, and this car has a crate in here that you can assemble. It's also a power trunk, and it closes really quickly. It's a very easy car to live with. Lots of space, lots of tech, very compliant and smooth to ride, and it's just really relaxing. Mercedes is no longer confused, trimming down on all these variants that they've created. It's very obvious that they knew exactly what the CLE wanted to be. It's a successor to the E-Class Coupe, yet bringing the youthful customers from the C-Class Coupe, and it shamelessly favors a more relaxed and comfortable rather than a sporty ride like a BMW 4 Series. The result is this, something that you could comfortably ride in on your daily commute to work or on a long road trip across the country in style and elegance. The Mercedes CLE Coupe is more than just a car. It's a statement of style, performance, and luxury. With its innovative powertrain, cutting-edge technology, and uncompromising safety features, minus the lane keep, it sets a new benchmark in the luxury coupe segment. That's all guys, thanks for watching.